What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Beard Manners. Today's chat is going to be all about the origins of Beard Manners. So as always, a lot of my videos are created because people have approached us about things they want to see. Sometimes they're just things I've made up. I actually have a list on my phone, on my notes, with all our YouTube content of ideas and things anyway. But this is one of the newer ones put to me by Drew. Drew, you know who you are, so you can take a bit of responsibility for this one. So hopefully it's a good one, mate. It's your idea. But yeah, it's an origins video about beard manners. I've done one of these before, but it was one of my early videos. I wasn't quite as good at this then, or as confident, so it makes sense to do another one, and I like doing more detailed one. So let's start with the basics of this, is into why beard manners started out. I'll try and keep a lot of these stories as short as I can. The most honest thing is, at that moment in time in life when I decided to start beard manners, I was going through a loss. So was my wife, but you know, this is my story, not my wife's. Not my wife, sorry. But yeah, I was going through a loss. I was struggling a lot with things. Felt very lonely outside of our family house, and had a lot going on. The business I had at the time, which was in the removals and storage sector, I'd lost a lot of love for. With what we were going through, I just needed something in my life. I'm not the sort of guy to go and use therapists. I'm all for them. I think they do a fantastic job. It's just not for me personally, and that's a story for another day. I didn't want to open up past things, but this is a positive story, guys. It's not about doom and gloom, so let's not go too deep into those rabbit holes. But yeah, I needed something in my life because it was I was struggling and I was broken. I got into gym and diet and things like that, and they were helping to a degree, but what was happening is, I figured out as I've got older is that I was using those as an excuse to get better, but I was arguably getting worse. I was getting angry in my workouts and lifting too heavy and taking things out in the gym, and my gym became my therapist in a way, and I knew that I needed to do something long term that was going to fix me, not just tide me by when I had my moments. And also, to go back to the start of this as well, is when we lost who we lost, when I was holding her, I made a point of making a sort of silent promise about bettering my life, trying to be a better dad, trying to be a better husband, trying to be a better person, and to try and follow my dreams more, because the lesson of who we had lost was a very big lesson about what the big things are in life, what the small things are in life, and the importance of making the most of your life. So I made a promise. At that time in my life, I didn't know what was going on with beard manners or anything else. But yeah, you know, that's how a lot of it started. I needed to do something. I just needed to get my head into something that I was passionate about and enjoyed. At this time, I was getting my footings into the beard industry. I was already an ambassador for a big brand. I fell out of love with their products in the end. They're good products, but they weren't perhaps as good as I felt they should have been for the money. I didn't like the direction the brand was going. I got myself caught up in the middle of trying lots of different products. I wasn't falling in love with anything, and I'm a very routine guy. I like to be loyal. Like with my coffees, I buy from 2 companies. I tried lots of companies to get there. I'm very OCD, and I really like to try things out. But once I get something and it's reliable for me, and it's good service, and I feel I know the product and I know the company, I stick with it. Because this is the thing with modern business nowadays, guys. Businesses are brands. I don't want to buy my coffee from a commercial company who I'm just a statistic to. You know, like one of the coffee providers we have, they have a coffee shop near us, and when we walk in there, they always say hello. They know they always refer to me as the beard man. They say hello to my kids. They interact, because what they are is a small business with a big personality, and they're a brand. And I love stuff like that, and that's part of the reason I wanted to do this, because I wanted to offer that back to people. At the same time, I was trying to find my perfect beard brand and my perfect beard care, and it just wasn't happening. You know, I'm not shy of spending money on things and trying things, and I was doing it, and it just wasn't screaming out to me. And this all started to fall into place. You know, like I say, it wasn't an initial big old plan. As all this was falling into place, also what was going on in my mind is I had a bit of money behind me at the time, not loads, but enough that I was on the verge of investing into the other business that I'd fallen out of love with and had become a bit of a chore and a bit of a drag. And you can see where this is going. I've got a bit of money, I've got a bit of an idea. I need something new in life. I need a challenge. I need to honour this promise. Things are all starting to come into play. I'm passionate about the beards. I wanted the beard industry, the beard community. I'm trying to find something. let's dip our toes in the water. That's what's going on in my mind. So before you know it, I'm purchasing God knows what kind of oils. I'm purchasing mixing equipment, stirring equipment, storage equipment, different bottles, different pipettes, absorption pads, all this different stuff. Giving my wife little snippets along the way of what I'm doing, but she's going through something harder than I am, in all honesty. And my wife's insanely supportive. But this was something that was just, she knew what I was doing, but it's all new to us. None of us we knew, but we didn't know. We're just trialing things, and this is months and months and months before the company launched. So next thing you know, the whole family, my wife, my kids, we're in the kitchen, we're mixing stuff, they're smelling things with me, we're having fun, we're trying stuff. Oil's everywhere. There's more oil in the kitchen than there is in the jars that I'm using to store the oil in. I think I started out, if I remember, with castor oil and almond oil. Just two easy oils to get hold of, one super thick, one super thin. I tried it with a higher ratio of thin, a higher ratio of thick, and it just didn't scream out to me. I thought it was okay for a little while. Sorry guys, let me just have a bit of my coffee. I've got hair in my mouth. The irony of having a hair in my mouth when you've got a beard. But yeah, so I started mixing with scents. I wanted it to work because obviously I'm excited and I want to get this off the ground. But what I am in life more than excited is I stay very grounded. My wife will know this better than anyone. If I want something or I figure I want to aim to something, I don't get excited about something until it's happening. If I've gone for something, like if I've gone for the shop or if I've launched a business or I've done this, my excitement level stays really calm. My excitement starts when it's happening, when we know something's going on. That's just how I am. I don't know if that's because of lessons learned in life, I suppose. Don't get too excited about the things you haven't got. So yeah, I stay very calm with things. So with these scents, I'm mixing scents in, I'm liking the scents, but I'm feeling a bit funny about these oils. I'm the king of research. I research everything, I dissect everything. I'm an absolute nightmare with this stuff. So I start looking into different oils, what different oils offer. I tried mixing things with vitamin E, I tried using hemp seed oil, I tried using so many different oils in the end. After lots of working at things, trying things on absorption pads and all of this, I figured out that what I needed to do is get a nice medium mix of oil. So I had to figure out how to get this medium mix, and I wanted to get oils that offered as much variation of benefits to the beard as possible. I'm not saying that I offered the best one in the world, but I would definitely say mine's up there. If you look at our oils and what they offer, it's going to be high up there. We're certainly not lazy with our mix. And there's a lot of oils in the industry that are commonly used. That's for a reason. I know when I first started this, you had certain reviewers saying things like, I was one of the newest ones out there, and they're like, oh, it'd be nice to see some more exciting oils, but sometimes if something's not broke, you don't need to fix it, you just need to adjust it a little bit. If something's commonly used and has been for years, there's normally a sign that it's good, not that it's lazy. So I went with some of the more commonly known oils like your jojobas, your argans and things like that. I wanted to go with 2 thin, 2 thick, 2 medium oils to get that perfect blend. I go on about this a lot, so it's that nice blend of a medium consistency oil. I wanted the castor in there because that's the thickest of the oils that I do. I wanted grapeseed in there because although grapeseed oil doesn't offer huge amounts different to some of the others, it is one of the utmost least greasy oils available in the market. So I knew that I'd tone it down. And I'll come to this in a second, sorry, but that was important. One of the things I hated was buying the oils that you put on and obviously they felt oily, but it's that hours of greasy afterwards. And then the other exciting one, or what I felt was exciting, which I've been asked this in an interview before, what's my favourite ingredient, is avocado oil. I absolutely love avocado oil. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's not as commonly used. It offers borderline the exact same benefits as hemp oil, which again is very good. It's the same price, it's a similar colour. The thing that made me decide between avocado and hemp is, for me, just avocado is a superfood. It's a super nut. It's a super nutrient. It's great for everything. I'm a huge fan of avocados. And the other thing was the natural odour. I don't buy my stuff pressed or anything like that. I get my stuff as pure as it can be. When it goes through pressing and things like that, it's heated up. It loses a bit of its colour. It loses the natural scent. you don't lose colour and natural scent without also losing a bit of goodness. It's like freezing food and defrosting it. You're going to lose some of the benefits that you'd get if it was fresh. And I found that hemp had this lingering scent to it, that whenever I made a scent, cherry and spice, smelled a little bit of hemp. Not so much the stronger scents really, but the weaker ones you could really notice it. And with avocado you can as well. So yeah, avocado was a good mix I went for. I tried different blends. I tried putting more of this in, more than that in. Eventually what I settled with was in a 30ml bottle. It's 5ml of each, so a perfect mix of each. I didn't make it 30ml at a time. Originally I used to make it in a batch of 10, so 300. I made a perfect mix of every oil. Straight away, I loved the colour. If you've bought our oils, you know they're that nice deep gold colour, bit of a green tint in there from the avocado, but it ultimately makes it a dark, warm gold, like our logo and our colouring of our text. And it was, and again, if you've tried our oil, I get this feedback a lot. The amount of people that say it doesn't feel greasy at all. Well done, Grapeseed. You know, and so I started getting the things like with my Infinity Cask. I put so much research into stuff that you obviously get it wrong and you have to tamper with things, but when you put enough research in, you're going to get it pretty close. So I instantly liked the mix. I started using this mix with scents, without scents, to see how it felt in my beard. I gave it weeks. You know, I'm not trying to knock reviewers, that's not what this video is about, but you often find with reviewers, they'll have something, try it twice and say, yeah, it's fantastic, best in the world, or no, it's rubbish. They're often associated with other people. You can't know anything after a day of use, 2 days of use, 2 weeks of use. You need to be using it for a long time to know if it's working or not. And not using other things as well. So I'm sampling my oils. Luckily, with my other business, the removals, a lot of the staff we had, the vast majority of them had beards. So they started getting weekly freebies to try out and give me feedback. Friends and family were getting stuff. Going back to when I said about my family and I being in the kitchen mixing things, we were mixing different scents. Really fun days. One of my fondest memories of starting this actually is like the very first day of getting going with this. That the whole family's involved, we're having fun, we're laughing, the music's on, you know. And things started to come together. We've got this mix going on, I'm trialling it out. The business is no way launched at this point, we've not even got a name. I've now started playing around with some different scents. What we came up with, and what was our original first 4 scents released when it was just the first 4 and we were just balms and oils, was cherry and spice, the rum old fashioned, plain sandalwood and unscented. I fell in love instantly with the rum old fashioned. My wife fell in love with the cherry spice, so they were being worn a lot. Like I say, different people are trying them, giving us feedback on scents, giving us feedback on the products. I'm testing stuff out on absorption pads, I'm doing all this. And I'm starting to get the courage with this now, because now I feel I've got this good product. I'm using it, I'm loving it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not touching anything else again. It's the best my beard has felt. It's starting to look better than ever. I'm enjoying the scents. I'm loving my own stuff. I've fallen in love with the product. So now we need to think about how we're going to get this off the road. This is where you start coming across stumbling blocks, such as we've got the ingredients, we've got the scents. We need to think of names, we need to think of branding, we need to think of logos. Then I stumbled across what you also need is a CPSR. Cosmetic Safety Product Report. They're not easy to obtain, they're certainly not cheap. It's not just a case of asking the company what you need to do, you have to submit things to them. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. Sometimes they'll tell you to amend it, sometimes you get charged again. It's a very long process, seriously slowed it down. And at this point, you know, I've got to do this before I launch the business, because if I've made this stuff and it just doesn't work out, which could happen because I've never done this before, then I'm wasting my time. What's the point in paying money on branding and everything else if you can't release the product? Luckily, in our first instance, everything passed. The only thing that failed was the cherry and spices mixes, the ratios of the scent I was putting in the mix, and also that I was using plain cinnamon fragrance. I had to use either cinnamon leaf or cinnamon bark or something along those lines. There's a few other cinnamons you can use. I went with cinnamon leaf, toned it all down, submitted it again. One more time, they said you've still got to change this, you can have a maximum of this percent this way or the other. Managed to get these right, that's it. All my scents had passed, the base oils were perfect. Same with the balms as well, got it all out there, done. So that's it, we're ready to roll. I'm getting things in pots, I'm making batches of 10s, I'm getting ready. But we need labels. I'm on Vistaprint, I'm designing my own labels, I'm having a world of a time with this. But then you start figuring out and tripping over the things like the fact you need to have Used by dates on the jars or best before dates. You need to have the business premises address on there. You need to have the ingredients in there. You need to have the Latin ingredients in there because of the nature of what the products are. You've got to have whether it's recyclable on there. You've got all this stuff to do. You've got to make sure you're getting your labelling right, and these are things you get wrong and stuff. You've got to put batches on there. I put batches on with a UV pen on the jars and the bottles, so if there's ever an issue, I can see exactly what the batch is and it doesn't affect the look of your product. So you have to batch things, because then if someone got a complaint and something is wrong, you can chase them all and bring them all back, opposed to just they're out there somewhere and people are using them. So again, these are all things I didn't know. I didn't actually know this. On top of all of this, we're trying to think of branding colours. I wanted to stick with something that was important to me, something that I was going to enjoy. So, this was when it was the office originally. We started out the office before we had the shop. After lots of debating and looking at homeware stores and things like that, we went with the option of, we wanted our background colour, which was the colour of my office walls, and the colour of in here is tattoo grey. I originally decided on the logo and the front colour being turquoise, and then we had like a mid colour of white in there, so if we wanted to mix three colours for any particular reason. So if you want to see our original logo, go onto our Instagram, go onto our Facebook and scroll all the way down, and when you've scrolled all the way down, scroll down even more, go past the thousands of pictures and videos and vlogs and blogs, and all the way at the very bottom, the very first picture you'll see is of our turquoise logo. So they're the colours, turquoise and tattoo grey. We've got the colours, but now we need to think of a name and a logo. The logo, I decided I wanted the whole brand, the logo, the name and everything to match my way of living. I didn't want to go down the Viking route or the pirate theme or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with those themes whatsoever, guys. There's not a dig at them. It's just not me personally. I don't, you can see this from me, I don't promote the whole I'm a Viking thing. A lot of people do and they love it. And it's really great that people who do it. It's just not what I do. I like my nice whiskies and my cigars. I enjoy sitting in a barber's. I like manly things. I like masculine things. So I wanted to go with an almost gentleman barber type theme. While I'm trying to think of this barber type theme with the colouring, the logo, the name, we're looking at everything. My wife and I had 2 or 3 nights where every name we came up with, one of us is like, great idea, let me look. Great idea, oh look. No one's got it on Google. No one's got it on Facebook. This guy's got it on Instagram. No one's got it on Instagram. No one's got it on Facebook. this guy's got it on LinkedIn. We're going through all these different names. And we went for a quiet spell, and this is the other thing that I know Cammy will vouch for. When I put a lot, because I put so much into everything, and if you've used our brand, you know this about me. I put so much effort into my health, into my mental health, my physical health, looking after myself, doing the right thing, personal growth, being polite, being a nice person. So you can only imagine what I put into the care, what care and effort I put into this brand. It's based on the promise of someone who I've lost. There's so many reasons for me to put so much into this and be so passionate about this. So I'm trying to think of it all, but when I get a bit overwhelmed with things, when I thought a bit too much about something, I have a moment where I'm like, let's drop this for a little while. The enjoyment's gone. Now you're not going to think of anything now. Let's stop. Let's sit back and watch some TV. Let's grab a beer, grab a coffee. Let's have a time out from it all. So I was having my time out, and all of a sudden, just something popped in my head. I don't know how it did. I don't know why it did. It wouldn't have been a sign of God, because I don't believe in that stuff. But beard manners. And then I sat there, before I even said it to Cammy, I was like, beard manners, what does that mean? Why do I like it? In my head, the second I thought beard manners, I was like, bang, that's it. That's our name. Beard manners. Because it's about a certain type of lifestyle. It's about a way of being. It's about manners. It's about etiquette. It's about being polite and courteous. Every beard deserves beard manners. There's no discrimination here. The colour of the beard, shape of the beard, whether it's from a man, a woman, it doesn't matter. If you've got a beard manners can be for you. It's for everyone. You haven't got to be a Viking. You haven't got to be a pirate. You haven't got to be a lumberjack. You haven't got to be any of these things. You've just got to be someone with a beard that wants to look after your beard. Beard manners. The name was born. I turned around to Cammy and instantly said, beard manners. And she was like me. She was like, I like it. I do like it. We checked everything. No one had it. There was a personal profile that had @BeardManners on Instagram. But I was like, you know what? I'm not that precious, guys. Let's do @beard_manners. So in case you ever wondered why there's the underscore, that's why. Because someone out there's got the name Beard Manners. I'll take it from you one day. So, no, I'm not that fussed. But yeah, that's why that is. So we've got the name. Now we're looking at branding and logos. Now, my wife very kindly made the logo for my last business, but making something beard related was a little bit more difficult. So this is where I started to invest money again. I'd already invested in certain areas, but I just started looking at different apps for logos and things like that. I'm not digitally minded or creative enough to design something myself. I didn't want to spend thousands on something, but I wanted it to be right. So again, a few more nights and days, we're looking at this, we're looking at that, we're putting the wording in, it doesn't quite fit, that doesn't quite work, it's too similar to someone else's, doesn't work with the colours, blah 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 blah. Eventually we found the logo that we liked. It was basic, it told the story, it told people what we were, it told people the industry we were about. Yes, it doesn't necessarily scream out beard oils, beard balms. The amount of people walk past my shop and say, oh, we're barbers. Yeah, because it looks like I trim beards. But yeah, it at least gives you the idea of what we're doing. The wording fitting perfectly. We got the colour changed. We liked it. I purchased the logo outright from the company. Took instant ownership of it so it can't be used by anyone else. It's not just the wording, it's the entire logo. Trust me, this is a fight I've had to have a few times where people have used our logo and just put a different word through and they've tried to say it's a different word. The next thing I've done after buying it from them is I paid a lot of money for copyright. I own the copyrights for the brand and the name in all the relevant sectors. Regularly I've had to show people this letter and they've gone running off with the tail between their legs. Funny stories, I actually had someone message me once and say, you've got the same logo as us, if you don't pay us £25,000, you're going to have to change your logo. I recorded a video and showed them my letter and said, I think you might find that you retract that or you'll see me in court. Within minutes they were apologetic, they were asking for time to change it. I was like, no, you've got 2 hours, guys. They're like, we'd have to close our business down. I was like, do it then, because you've just threatened me. You know, that's not me. I don't do stuff like that. I'd have just politely messaged. But yeah, bit of a show-off moment. Get yourself covered with things like that. If any of you are looking at starting a business, pay the money, do things and get yourself covered. Don't get yourself a brilliant logo and a brilliant name and let someone steal it from you. So we're covered with that. So I've bought all this. We've got the colours going on. We've got the white background at the moment with the turquoise logo. We've got the branding. We've got the stickers done. We know what we want on the stickers. We're figuring out the sizes. We originally went with all black stickers with the bronze writing for the logo and the name, and then white sort of silver finish writing everywhere else. Got it all out in uniform. They're sitting on my shelf. I've got batches made up and ready to go. But I'm not ready to go. I've got to build an e-commerce site. Because I know how the fuck to do that, don't I? So next thing I'm on the website, I'm building this. I'm having to change the sites. I'm changing different things. This is the boring part of the business. But got it all done. Got my SKUs up there. Got my ratios up there. Got the prices up there. We got things wrong at the start. Like I didn't put the weights in so people were buying stuff and it wasn't the correct price for packaging. I was having to suck up losses there. You learn the hard way. You adjust things. You get on. But anyway, the website's up and running. The stickers are on the label, the stickers are on the bottles and the jars, the products are in there, we've got the boxes, we've got the packaging, we've got everything, we're raring to go, we're ready to sell. I've launched, but I haven't outright launched. I've done what I would say is a cold launch to start with. I told friends and family on the personal page that we're now open. Not a lot really happened, to be honest. I then, after a couple of hours, started getting a bit demoralised. I know this, I'm a sensible guy. I knew you wouldn't do much to start with, but you want something good to happen. So I've then announced it to everyone who's following us everywhere, where we've done our pages with the coming soon and stuff. We've now announced we're now live. Within a couple of hours, we made a couple of sales. Wasn't anything to be too excited about because it was from people who were friends of ours, they've got beards, obviously, but they were supporting us. But obviously, that was a massive help, guys. Those of you that done this, you know who you are. But it gets us off the ground. They share some pictures, they share some feedback, another sale comes in, another sale comes in. I remember for the first period, I felt really lucky with this if I'd done like 5 sales in a week. I didn't expect much, but if I done 5 sales in a week, I felt really lucky. As the months went by, you started feeling lucky if you done 10 sales a week. Then you started feeling lucky if you done 1 sale every 2 days, then 1 sale a day, then a few sales a day, till you get to the stage where it just becomes second nature. But yeah, that's how it all started out. So you now know the importance of the name, the effort we put into the logo and the products. Very quickly, the business started to gather a little bit of speed. It started rolling. We brought out the butters. We then started bringing out some new scents. We had the introductions of things like caramel coffee. I think Raspberry Ripple was out quite quick as well. We went for a stage of bringing out a few scents every couple of months, because this is the next stage of the business I saw. Now, because I am logical and I overthink and I put thought processes in, when we started Beard Manners, I had an idea of the brands we wanted to be like, or that we wanted to be kicking it with. And that's no offence to the ones we weren't, but there were some where we were like, there was somewhere I was like, you're good, you're this, that and the other. I want to be kicking it with those boys. That's where we want to be. If for this to be a business that works and for something that keeps the interest going, that's where we've got to be at. So then I figured out that it's not as simple as just starting a business. We've got to get ahead of the game. Also, we were by far one of the newest businesses, one of the newest beard brands to start at a period where there was so many of them. This was during lockdown now. Everyone and their brother was starting a beard brand. I remember joining the UK Beard Portal, which is a great group of guys operated by Doc and the Bearded Brit. I know Bearded Brit's making a bit of a comeback soon. Hopefully Doc will one day as well. They're fantastic guys. They know a lot about all their stuff. But they started the UK Beard Portal, which was there to help you guys to buy from companies that were fully compliant with their labels, their batch numbers, their CPSRs, their insurances, to try and stop people from just buying from Joe Bloggs who makes in his kitchen, because that's not legally really right that they're doing that. They were reviewing products for you, testing them, like detailed reviews. But I remember joining there, and I was one of the newest members, and I was lucky enough to get to be on the committee, because I think in fairness I was showing knowledge, and more importantly what I was showing them guys is the determination to do things the right way. But yeah, I got invited to do my first podcast with those guys. We were on there with a few other beard brands as well that were also on the committee. Brilliant for my first podcast. Had a whale of a time. Lots of drink was had. But the questions were getting asked. We were the new kids on the block, and I remember a few questions being asked. I remember Doc's using these words about us, is that we were the new kids on the block, and we were making a lot of noise, because that's the strategy. I'm loud, I'm bold, I'm brash. I want my brand to be. I'm not prepared to sit there and politely get in there. We're approaching the door and we're knocking it down. You know, I'm getting this off the ground. Like I keep saying, the passion is there, the fight is there. I've rolled my sleeves up and I'm fighting. So put our money where our mouth is. The other business is paying the bills, is bringing money in. Beard Manners is getting off the ground. I'm investing every spare penny that I've got. New scents, bringing out butters, tash waxes, washes, more new scents, beer mats, hats, caps. It became a running joke that within a very short period of time, like, people were like, we're just frying up scents every couple of weeks. Some of them were quite easy mixes, like the Raspberry Ripple and Cherry and Spice. They're simple but effective, they're crowd pleasers, they're very good sellers. I started to want to test myself with the deeper scents, the Manners bars, the Modern Gents, things like that. Started wanting to test myself, test my knowledge and put more effort in. Lots of them came as stumbling blocks. But yeah, I just didn't want to rest. I was like, Beard Manners needs to be getting everywhere. And to this day, we're still not even 3 years old. We're still only within 2 years of trading, so we're still one of the newest. There are some newer than us. A lot of the ones that are around the same age of us have sadly disappeared. Some have kept going as well. But without blowing my own trumpet, we got on that big old wave. We picked the surfboard up and we stayed standing, and we survived that wave and went on to the next one. And that is through just determination, hard work and everything else. So I've got all these scents out. In under 2 years, we had the largest scent profile option of any beard brand within the UK in just 2 years. The people that are on par with us as to how we're doing or doing better than us have been going for 2-3 years longer minimum. And again, that's not to boast, it's the hard work we've put in, but it's still not enough, because we're still not with the people we want to kick it with. So you've got to bring out more, you've got to do more. Get on YouTube, Start doing videos. Start investing in equipment. Get the shop. You know, we're struggling to make things at home now. There's too much going on. Then comes the big bit about this story. And I know, sorry, this is a long video, guys, but hey, it's the life story of Beard Manners. A massive decision comes our way. I don't actually have the time anymore to do the overall running of a business that's been providing for our family. Not providing, my wife provides as well, but providing a big part of our family's living for at least 10 years. Yes, I've lost a love, but it's been a loyal servant to us. I haven't got the time to do that and Beard Manners. Beard Manners became got to the stage where you couldn't do 2 or 3 hours in the evening. You couldn't make stuff after work and send it. I was working till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning every single day, like 7 days a week. It was starting to affect lifestyle and families. It was making nowhere near as much money as the other business was, but this was make or break. We either had to let Beard Manners go or keep it quiet, or we had to take a gamble. Lots of discussions, lots of thinking. This is where my wife comes into her own. You know, ultimately she will always support, within reason, of course. If she believes in me, and that's what she did, she believed in me. She made comments along the lines of, even if you don't make this work, I know you'll kill yourself trying. And those sort of comments mean a lot. So we went for the shop. We came in, another lovely family moment. All the family got involved, even Storm could barely crawl. Cammy's involved, we're all here every day, painting, decorating, doing things, putting things together, building the shelves up. We were due to open on a Saturday. The Thursday before we were due to open, everything's painted, the first 2 shelves are up, we only had 2 to start with, the products are out, the tester bar is there. We're just sitting here, we're like, it's done. It's done, so let's maybe get some food from Beach Street and go home. Someone's looked in the door and said, are you guys open? And I'm like, I guess we are. Again, never served anyone, never done anything. He's come in, we've chatted. I've shown him to our infamous sample bar where many a decision has been made. He's tried the products. At this point, we had 18 cents in total. He's tried it all. He's decided to buy some rum old fashioned oil and balm. That's $28.99, please. I'd like to pay for card. I've got my card reader, but I haven't set it up. Anyway, really quickly set it up. The guy was nice and patient. He set it up, we bagged it up. Someone else came in. Another customer, they made a purchase. That was it. The shop was open. And that's a whole different story. You know, we've now got a place to work. I've got my serving counter here. We've got our display cabinet there, the tester station there, the fridge behind me, which you can see. That's where we keep things that people can't touch, they can't get hold of. They can't just take the lids off and sniff. It's kept nice and fresh in there. I'm now sitting, in case you're wondering, I'm not standing. This is my working desk, which is a big L-shaped desk. I've got leather pads everywhere so it doesn't damage the wood, but we make things here. I've got my cooking equipment here. You can see some of our oils and fragrances laying around, fire extinguishers in case I set fire to everything. But yeah, we've got it all set up, we've got it open. As that happened, this is something that I never really announced, I kept a bit quiet. We stopped taking bookings and stopped doing work for the other business. We honoured everything that we had, but that was our decision. We either went for this or we didn't. No half-arsing, and this will tell you everything you ever want to know about me, guys. I walked away from a good business. Yes, I didn't love it, but it was good. It had done well for us. It made good money. I walked away from that because this was important, and this had to be my focus. Again, no digs at anyone in the world, but I could not give this the time it needs by squeezing it in on a Sunday on a day off, doing it late in the evening. This has to be right. This has to be good. You all know this. If I send something out, it's a bit grainy, you let me know, I send another one. I ask for that one back first, obviously, but I send another one. I amend any mistakes that I can. If I have not reached out to you in a message, I'll apologise when I noticed I have. You know, so I had to then give this everything. It needed all of my attention. It deserved all of my attention. You guys that are buying products from me and expecting good products, better than good products, you deserve my attention. So we walked away from the other business. Sold all the vans, sold everything up. And the rest is history, I guess. Beard Manners became the focus. It was absolutely terrifying. It probably wasn't quite ready to pay the bills then. A lot of it was reliant on the shop and online coming together. And I say pay the bills without, we're not being showy, but you know, we've got 3 kids, we've got a 4-bedroom house, we've got 2 cars. You know, it's not like I'm living in a 1-bedroom studio somewhere. The bills are slightly higher. Had to cover the rent of the shop. But like my wife, like the faith my wife had put in me, the promise I had made, the way I wanted to do this, I kind of felt I was always going to make this work. And things can change, you know, of course they can change. But this isn't a story about the future of Beard Manners. This was a story about the origins of Beard Manners. I don't know how this one has gone, guys. I can feel it in me. I've been quite passionate about this. I've been open about certain things. There's things I've brought up which, trust me, I've had to hold myself back a little bit because it's a tough situation. So hopefully I've held it together. Hopefully this has been a good video. Hopefully this tells you everything you need to know about why I started this brand, why I started Beard Manners, why you guys are so important, why I feel the urge to thank you every Christmas on Christmas Day, why I feel the urge to be so appreciative of everything you guys do, the support and everything, because I love this brand. I love what it is. I love what it stands for. I love what I see that it gives some people as well. It's not for everyone. Not everyone likes our stuff. Not everyone likes our brand, and that's completely cool. You know, you're allowed. I'm not going to judge anyone that doesn't, but hey, I do. I'm Beard Manners through and through. As you can see by my tattoo there somewhere, I wear it proudly. You know, it is what it is. But anyway, guys, this has been a very long one. I believe this is my longest video. I'm looking at myself in the laptop. I believe this has been my longest video. I hope this one's good. Give it a listen. Give it some feedback. I think this is the first time I've got 2 videos out in about 8 days in a long, long time. I've promised I'm going to be better with this year. I've already got content lined up. It won't always be beards. I'm going to try and mix it up. Let's see what comes next. Please like, please subscribe. It makes a huge difference to this on YouTube. Share the videos, invite your friends. Let's get this out there. It's the start of the year. Us businesses, it's a real tough time for small businesses. Just a share and a like and a thumbs up is a massive help for us. You know, recently I asked on Facebook for people to help share our business. It gained 1,000 likes just by people inviting friends. That is massive, guys. That is absolutely huge. Honestly, that makes such a big difference. You might not think it, but it does. So please help us, because quite clearly, as you have seen with this very new business, what comes in gets invested back in, we'll make it more. Stay bearded, guys. Stay safe. Beard Manners maketh man.